Everybody back for another episode. So I have been traveling all week for work, and I just got home. So excited about getting home to my sweetie and my cat and getting back out in the garage. So let's take a look at what we're gonna do.
No, you're not bringing home another piece of junk.
Alright, so if you watched the last video, we did the engine swap on my buddy Bruce's 66 Impala. And he's got it home. He's working out a couple little kinks. He had an oil pan leak and some vacuum leaks on the carburetor, but I think he's just about there with it. But he came over and did a very nice job of cleaning up and letting me borrow his lift for the next project that's going to be coming up next week. And he's going to pick his engine up too. So next week, I've talked about this a little bit. A good friend of mine has a 70 El Camino that he has been, he's the original owner of, and we're going to be doing some work on that. I'm not going to talk about that too much now, but probably next video or the one after we'll be starting on that and taking a look at that car. So I've got this body cart that I built my 48 Plymouth on, and then my friend Kyle's had this for a while. He had his 53 Chevy sitting on it, and he's done with it, so he brought it back. And I think what we're going to do with this thing, not in this video, in the next one probably, is build an engine run stand for this big block. And if you remember back to the camper videos, a little over a year ago, this was a reasonably low mileage 454 that I bought, without hearing it run, and it came out of an RV. It was a TBI 454, and we did rings, bearings, had crank turned on it. All the cylinders looked really good in it, except for one had some pits in it, but we just kind of let that go. But it dropped oil pressure significantly after I started running it. Like after 3 or 4 times I had run it. Now, it didn't lose pressure completely, but it got down to about 7 pounds. So before it knocked or did anything like that, I just took it out, threw it on a stand, put another motor in the camper. So I think we're going to take a shot at fixing this. And this is going to go in the Suburban project, which is coming up later. But we are still wagons ho on this thing. I'm hoping by next week, this thing is pretty much done. We are going to test drive it in this video. I got to put the computer back in it. I've got the tuner program, I think, figured out. So we got to put the computer in, and I have to pull the factory program off of the computer onto the J3 chip while the computer's in the car. So we're going to do that. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to finish up door panels. And then I'm hoping tomorrow, when I get home from work, we're going to try to take this thing down the street and see how it does. So here's where I'm at with door panels. You saw before I had cut these out. And I went ahead and glued some carpet on the bottom of them. And here is what we've got. I sewed these up. I think this is a short one. This is for the back door panel. So you got your flat vinyl is going to be on the bottom. The pleated vinyl is going to be on the top. The reason I put the carpet on the bottom is just to give this flat vinyl a little cushion behind there, and so that's not just so flat. So because this has got some cushion on it, it's got some padding on it, so that'll give this a little bit of padding on it. So anyway, let me get one of those over here, and we're going to put the glue on it, and let's try to get one of those done tonight and get that on there. Driver's side, I think we ought to do first. And this is what we're going to use for glue. That is Landau top and trim solvent or solvent type spray grade. That's excellent glue. That's about the strongest contact cement I have ever used. And I'm not going to spray it on, I'm going to brush it on. So let me get set up here and we'll take a look at how we're going to do this. Okay, so we're set up here. I kind of wiped this off to make sure there's no dust on it. Did a little quick test fit to make sure that it's going to go where I want it to. That looks good. So let me get a paintbrush and we're going to put a coat of glue here. We're going to put a coat of glue there. We're going to let it dry 5 minutes. We're going to do it again. Another coat of glue, let it dry about 5 minutes. Then we'll stick it together. And we're just going to stick this top half together first. And then we'll do the same, and then we'll roll the bottom part down. And then you flip it over and then do the back edges. So let me get some glue on here, let it dry a little bit, and I'll show you when we put it together. Okay, so I got 2 coats of glue, 5 minutes in between coats. And what we're going to try to do without getting it stuck to myself is to just lay it right on this seam right here. Try to be even, but go up over a little bit. Very sticky. Right there. That might be too far. No, it's not too far. I'll leave enough on both sides that I can roll it over. And I'll tell you what, this glue is no joke. Okay. Now we're going to glue this side. We're going to stretch this down like that. I think that's going to look nice. Okay, let me get this glued down here and then we'll stretch that down and see what that looks like. All right, so we've got our glue on this part now. It should be, oh yeah, that's tacky. Glue is a little expensive, but it's worth it. Especially if you're doing something like this, where it's gotta stick. Okay. I like the looks of that. Okay. Now let me get something to lay this on when I flip it over, and then we're going to do the edges and we're going to fold them over. So I'll be back in just a minute here. Okay, so when I do the sides, I don't want to do them all at once. I just kind of do one at a time, and I go around first and kind of pie cut the corners a little bit, just so that it folds over nice. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, this is why I love that glue. I mean, when it sticks, it is on there. Oh, and when it gets on your finger, it is on there. Should have let that dry just a few minutes longer. Still a little wet right there. That'll stick though. Okay, So we got that side. Let me go around and get the other side. I went ahead and like cross cut these. So we'll just fold those four corners in. We'll put a little glue around there, and then we'll have to poke some holes where the armrest goes. And I need to clean those armrests up too. So let me do these other sides. Top I don't have to do because it's got that metal piece that goes down and covers up this. So that's just cut that off flush. All right, let me get the rest of this done, and then we'll take a look at what it looks like, and maybe we'll go ahead and throw it on the car and see what it looks like. Okay, there we go. We got that one on. I think it looks pretty good, you know, for a quick down and dirty door panel. I'm happy with it. All right, so that's all I'm going to do for tonight. Just want to get this one done and see how it was before I do the other three. So we got to do those. But when I get home from work tomorrow, we're going to fire this thing up and try to take it down the road a little bit, maybe a block or two. And usually my first test drive is down the street to the water department and back. So we'll do the initial test drive, see if she'll move under her own power, and see how that goes. And then if that goes good, we'll go from there. So we'll check back tomorrow. All right, everybody. So we today. All right, so the time is here. We are going to see how this thing does on its first trip down the road. Are we coming back under our own power, or are we whipping out the old AAA card and coming back? So let's see what's going to happen. All right, I think I am set and ready for a short cruise here, except I don't have license plates or insurance, but we're not going to worry about that. We're just going down the road and back. So, okay, let's jump in this thing and see what it'll do. All right, very dirty windshield, as you can see. Make sure we got some brakes here. It feels like it. I got a little leak on the transmission, but I went ahead and topped it off. We'll have to address that in a little bit. All right, let's see what we got. Brakes are holding the car. I feel like they're sticking a little bit. Let's see how it does. First time moving under its own power and that was short and sweet. All right, let me take a look at the brakes here. All right, driver's side front, passenger side front rather, is sticking. I don't know why everything is new in there. Unless I just got the shoes that far out of adjustment. So I'm going to have to pull that off. As far as the rear, those drums were definitely questionable because they're rusting out around. That one you can hear a little bit of a rub spot when it goes around. And that one too. Maybe that'll work its way out. But I need to figure out what's going on with that drum up there. So let's pull that brake apart, see what we can find out. All right, actually both front wheels are sticking. So could be that master cylinder is just not releasing pressure on that on the front of these when you press it. I mean, I don't think I have I got good pedal feel, so hello. But we'll take a look, see what we got. All right, this is weird. So I took I figured it was like holding pressure on the master cylinder and wouldn't release pressure on these front brakes. It would be the only thing common to both of them, but I undid the line and they're still holding up, and it's like it's something mechanical holding it up. So I don't know whatever it is. If I made a mistake, I made it on both wheels because they're both doing the same thing and you're hitting something hard in there. So all I can do is pull it apart and see. Let me get one apart and see if we can figure out what's going on. Okay, pretty easy fix. Somewhere in this front circuit I've got a brake line either kinked or pinched off, because if I let pressure off at this fitting, the shoes go back and close. Probably the same on the other one. So I'm betting maybe the line coming down from the master cylinder to the distribution block. It would have to be before they split before the distribution block for it to lock both wheels. So that is somewhere between this line and where it goes down, and that must be what I did. So I made both of those lines unless I kinked one of those off when I did it, because I've got my little pressure switch right there for the brakes. So it's not on this side of the line because we loosened this fitting. So it could be on the other side of that T, or it could be from the line from the T going down to the distribution block. So we'll have to figure that out. The not shifting, I think, is that transmission leak. It's bigger than what I thought. And it wouldn't hardly move when I moved to this side of the garage a couple weeks ago. So I dumped a quart in it, and there's a bigger puddle under there than what I thought. So I need to figure out where that's coming from. It's like right here somewhere. So I'm thinking maybe it's dipstick or one of those lines, cooling lines. So let's get this brake thing lined up first, and then we've got a 70-degree day here, and then it gets cold again tomorrow. So what I want to do today, I want to at least get that brake line fixed where I can pull this thing back out. And I've got all the stuff to do a Comet wash on this thing, and I just really want to wash it good. We're going to do the Comet wash on the paint. We're going to do the CLOR wash on the surface rust up there, and then we're going to seal the patina. I hate that word, patina, on this thing. And then tomorrow when it's cooler, I can be in here, or sometime this weekend, and work on that tranny leak. So, all right, let's let me find what's going on with these brakes, and we'll check back. Okay, so after messing with these brakes, I think this master cylinder is garbage, because the plunger keeps sticking on the stupid thing, and that seems separate from this other problem. All right, so I messed with these brakes a little bit, and I can't find anything that is restricting that front brake line, which I haven't got into the whole thing yet, but I'm also really questioning that master cylinder. I had that thing sitting on a shelf here for a while, and I think I'm going to go ahead and get a different one and take a closer look at it. And I think my shifting problem is, I looked online, and the selector switch down on the transmission, if you remember way back, I had to replace that. That has to be adjusted right to send a signal to the transmission to shift into past first gear. So I think that's an issue. The transmission leak is an issue. So we're gonna do those two things. But like I said, I got one day here where it's gonna be at 70 degrees. It's gonna get colder tomorrow. So I just went ahead and put it back on the ground. We rolled it out. I'm gonna order a master cylinder. Let's go ahead and clean this thing up and get this what's left of the paint sealed on it. We'll finish the door panels. We'll clean up the inside. We'll do all that while I'm waiting for that other master cylinder to get here. So let's get some stuff going, take a look. I'll show you what we're going to use. You know, I thought I had another Corvette type master cylinder here somewhere, and I can't find it. It's probably here, and I'll probably find the stupid thing after I get the other one in. It's usually how it goes. So we are going to wash the paint part with Comet and some Scotch-Brites. We're going to use this. This is kind of like CLR, but they didn't have CLR in a spray bottle, so we got this rust stain remover. We're going to use that on the top where it's all kind of surface rust. And this is what we're going to use to seal the paint. Now there's a couple of videos online show some guys doing this, and it seems to work really good. And this was, which was that? For a quart, I think it was $10, $15. So we'll give it a shot. We're definitely not going to ruin the paint on that thing. So let's get going. We'll see what we got in this thing. All right, so let's just try a section of this. And it just says to spray it on, leave it sit a few minutes, and spray it off. We are going to use a Scotch-Brite on it. So let's just do a section back here and see what we got. Soak her down pretty good. Okay, I kind of see some blue paint under there. Let's see, how long does it say to leave? Spray directly on stain. Let stand for a few seconds. Wipe with damp sponge or cloth. Rinse promptly and thoroughly. Well, it's been a few seconds. Now let's do what it says not to do, and or let's do what it doesn't say to do, and let's scrub it a little bit and just see what happens. tell you what, I'm kind of glad this doesn't have good paint on it, because I would not want to be waxing this thing. That's a long roof. That's what I call them, long roofs. Now, let's see what it does. Yeah, there is some paint under there. There's more paint under there than I thought. I thought it was just all rust. Yeah, I like it. Okay. Let me set the camera up. We'll do the whole roof and see what we got. I'll tell you what, that is amazing. I did not think there was a speck of paint left on that roof. And man, that looks great. Looks like the roof was black. Maybe it was blue and they painted black over it at one time. I don't know. But look at the difference in the hood. Here's the side I did, and here's the side I didn't do. And I mean, I am not scrubbing for long periods of time. I mean, this is just knocking it off. Almost makes me wonder what would it look like if I just did the whole car with this stuff. So let me go ahead and get this side of the hood, get the other side of the roof, and maybe we'll do a test on this fender over here. We'll try Comet on one side and we'll try that stuff on the other side and see what it looks like. What a difference. There's actually a little bit of paint under there. So one bottle is enough to do the roof and the hood and a few other little spots, as you saw, but it's out. So we're going to Comet wash the rest of this thing, and then boy, we're going to have to clean some glass. That stuff sure makes a nasty mess. And wipe the trim off, and we'll do all that before we put the penetrol on there. But man, what a difference. I thought that roof was solid rust with nothing left on it. So I'm going to use that same Scotch-Brite pad now that it's got a little wear in it, and let's just go ahead and do a quick Comet job on this fender and see what we can bring out in it. Okay, so that's one side, and man, big difference to me. There was a lot of black along in here, and I'm wondering if that was like spray paint, if they had painted this roof black when it was blue before and it got down here, because a lot of that came off. And I just kind of woke the colors up. I mean, it's wet now, but it should look about like that once we put that penetrol on there. Yeah, I think it's really waking the colors up in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. You probably don't need to watch me do that. We just did this side, so let me get that side done, and probably clean the wheels off and stuff while I'm out here, and then we'll put her back inside. I gotta sweep up some leaves. It's like every leaf around here has been blowing in the garage since I had the door open today. So we'll get them out. We'll push it back in here, and then and maybe we'll work on the inside a little bit. I want to finish those door panels. I want to clean the glass. Seat belts need bolted down. There's plenty of little things to do till I get another master cylinder here, and I can even look at that transmission issue. But let me get this side done, and then we'll take a look. Okay, there we go. So we have Comet washed the whole thing, and then I went back with some Dawn dishwashing liquid and washed it again just to get all the grit off of it, and put some wheel cleaner on it, and those cleaned up pretty nice. So I'm gonna pull it in the garage, let it dry off a few hours, and then we're gonna start putting some of that penetrol on this thing and see what it looks like. I don't know if I get it all done tonight, but between tonight and tomorrow we'll get it done. So excited to see what that's going to look like. So let me pull it back in there. Hopefully the brakes aren't locked up, and we'll let her dry for a bit. All right, she's all dried off now, and I am just shocked at how good this thing looks. I had no idea there was that much color under all that rust and oxidized paint, and even with no sealer on it, I mean, man, it looks good. I think put some wheel cleaner on it that really brightened them up. There's actually paint on the roof. Who'd have thought? Man, yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. So I'll tell you what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna do the whole thing tonight, but let's go ahead and put that whatever it is on the hood and see what it looks like on there, and then we'll give it overnight to dry, and we'll see what it looks like in the morning. So let me get set up here, and we'll give her a shot. Okay, I got some gloves and got some rags. Wish our test drive would have gone better, but hey, you know, that's the way it is with building cars. You know, that sometimes that first one you don't get very far. But I think it's all reasonably easy issues to fix, so no big deal. All right, so I just got a couple of rags. It's not real strong, and I watched the guy on whatever site that was, and he just put it on the rag and wiped it on. So that's what we're gonna do. That gives it a matte finish, looks like. Just go different directions. I spilled some on the bumper. We'll have to get that. We missed a few spots. It says it's not a real high gloss. Dripping everywhere. Get that off the bumper. I might as well do let's do a fender. Hopefully get that. Or at least the top of a fender. Better if I had a sponge, but yeah, we got it. Just gonna go. Well, we're here. Let's do this one too. Have a rough finish over here. All right, that's pretty good. I should do a little bit of the roof. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like it. And let's get over to the other side. Let's stop there. Don't fall over. That looks good. A little more over here. Missed a spot. In the middle. That looks pretty darn good. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna turn the camera off. I know watching me wipe is probably not exciting, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that whole roof tonight. Back in just a few. Well, I just went ahead and decided to do the whole thing. Since I got going, it only took like an hour to get all the way around it. So, and I think it looks good. I'll be interesting to see how it looks when it dries tomorrow. You can kind of see where it's starting to dry in here. Just changes the tone of it a little bit and gives you a little bit of a sealer on it. You know, not a big high gloss over the over the bad paint, which I really didn't want. So I think this will work good. All right, so I think that's going to wrap it up today. So tomorrow, I wish I could do another test drive on this video, but I'm probably going to be putting it out before I get a master cylinder in. I got to order it before it gets here and I get it put in. So I think tomorrow what we're going to do is maybe we'll get the rest of these door panels done and in. I'll be darned, it leaks in here when you wash it. Imagine that. Probably because there's no door gaskets. But we're gonna, I need to get seat bolts belted in. Maybe we'll do that. I want to get this panel bolted down, and then I got some rubber that's gonna go on that. Maybe we'll get that cut. So we'll just kind of work on a few little things. Maybe we'll get under and take a look at that transmission and see if that's the issue. Look at where that leak is. So, all right. And then also today I went through and kind of marked where this thing is going to be cut to make my engine run stand. And I'll do another video on that. We'll do a separate video on that thing. So, all right. Well, that's it for tonight, and we'll take a quick look around this side too. See how she looks. I don't know if that fender was a different fender or what, because that one was like a couple different colors than that other one. But anyway, that's it, and I think she looks good, and we'll be back on it tomorrow. Morning, everybody. So this is what it looks like after this stuff is more or less dried. So I guess about 3 o'clock yesterday, I put all this stuff on there, and it's 8 o'clock now. So 12, 15 hours, whatever. It says to let it dry 24 hours, but I think we're pretty close. I think it really looks good. And yeah, it's not sticky at all. There's a couple kind of shiny spots, look like they haven't quite dried yet. Maybe I got it on there heavier on those, but I think it's cool. So, all right, so today I do not feel like climbing under this thing. So I'm going to work on finishing up interior today. I got a little adjustment to do to the one door panel. We're going to make the other 3 door panels and get those on there, and I want to focus on this back. These back panels back here. That works nice. All right, so I've got my rubber pieces that you can see some water got in here. It's all right. I'll wipe that off. So we'll do that. We'll clean the glass. Maybe we'll get the seat belts finished up. But I want to get my rubber pieces made and glued on here. Get this put back down, and then I got a new hinge panel or a new hinge to go in between these. So that front part screws down. This back part hinges. So let me move some things around, figure out how we're going to set up, and we'll go ahead and get these pieces out. We'll do that front piece first, get the rubber cut, get it glued onto there, and get that screwed down, and then we'll go for this back piece. So back in just a minute. All right, so I got the front piece out, and I got the rubber cut for that, and I think that looks pretty good. That'll make a nice surface if I have to throw anything in the back of this thing. Good non-skid surface, and best of all, it's free. Got a big old stack of these things that I've been slowly using up. It's getting lower and lower out there, so who knows? There's the last handful we'll use on something. But let me go ahead and get this piece screwed in, and then I'll go ahead and glue the rubber down on this, and then we'll take that back piece and we'll cut the rubber for that, which it's over here. It's right there. And then we'll get that hinge trimmed up and put on. I guess I need to wipe this down. I got some water in there yesterday. All right, let me get that done and we'll take a look. All right, so we got the, excuse me, got the first part in there, and got the rubber glued down on there with a mix of whatever I had laying around. I had some extreme liquid nails and some more of this urethane stuff that I glued the windows in with, so it should stay down. If it don't, we'll glue it down with something else. But all right, so we got this. Now we got this part. This one's a little easier to cut. It don't have the curves in it, but I do need to cut out here. There used to be a latch here that would keep this closed that I think is not going to function because it was rusted out on the bottom, and I cut the rusted out part on the bottom, and then let's see. Yeah, the other part of it's still here. So, I don't know. Maybe we end up making something for that. We'll see how bad it bounces around. It's pretty heavy, so I'm hoping it'll hold itself down. And then I think I thought there was some rubber pads up under here. Maybe not. I'll have to put something on there just so it don't rattle. Looks like there's actually something there. I got lots of rubber stuff, scraps around here. Maybe we'll just glue a little piece of rubber on those tracks in there so it doesn't rattle the whole time you're driving. Okay, so let me cut a piece of that, or a couple pieces of that, whatever we got to do. We'll get it on here, and then we'll see where we go from there. All right, there we go. Got her all done. I think she looks pretty good. And hinge works good. I just got a regular old piano hinge from Lowe's. Not quite as heavy duty as the original, but it works fine. I probably would not put an engine sitting on the middle of that, but if I wanted to slide some boxes or whatever in there, and you know, some tools, I think it'd be fine. Okay, so, and I don't have a latch. But I'll come up with something. Like I said, maybe just put some rubber down in there so it doesn't rattle. Might be fine, because that's definitely got some weight to it. So I think it'll be cool. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and work on doing the rest of these door panels. And you saw me do the one, so I'm not gonna film doing the rest of them. Let me go ahead and get these done, get these on. And I think I'm gonna do a little cleanup inside. There's just a lot of dust inside. We'll vacuum it. We'll clean the windows. And maybe end of the day, end of the video, or tomorrow or something, we'll jack this thing up and start looking at, I can at least start looking at transmission. I got a few ideas what's going on, why it won't shift. And ordered the master cylinder, and it will be here Wednesday. So that probably won't be on this video changing that. But this master cylinder, I had it on the shelf, and back when I was first putting brakes on the cab over truck I built, I used that master cylinder, and I thought it had some problems with it. So I ordered another one, put it on there. I had some additional problems and got it all working. So I thought, okay, well, maybe the first master cylinder was all right. So I kept it, and that's the one I use, but I'm thinking something is wrong with it. I got to check my geometry on my pedal push rod, because I think the plunger for the master cylinder is sticking all the way in. So anyway, plenty to do on that. So let's get this other stuff done, and we'll take a look at where we're at. All right, so we're kind of whipping out these other door panels. I got a little assembly line going, but I had a problem with this one. It was just a little bit too long on the bottom, and it was catching on that kick plate and starting to tear the vinyl. So what I did is I was able to get, I'll tell you what, that glue is tough. But I was able to peel that back and peel the bottom of that vinyl off. I took the screws out and was able to pull that up about 1 inch. And I just went and trimmed a 1/2 inch off of that door panel, and then I'm going to fold it, re-glue it, fold it back under there and put the screws back in it, and that should be fine. So, and then since I had the problem with that one, I checked this one and kind of had the same issue, so we took a 1/2 inch off the bottom of this one. And these are the ones I had to make with no templates, so that's kind of the way it goes. I did a test fit on these first, and they are good to go. So let me get all these glued, all these installed, and we shall take another peek at what it looks like. All right, here we go. We have got all 4 door panels on. I got that one fixed over there, so it's closing good now. Kind of went through and cleaned all the dust off in here. Back ones look good too, I think. One of these days, I'm going to recover that back seat, but I'm not going to worry about it now. But I did find something interesting on this brake pedal. Of course, after I ordered another master cylinder. So, if you take a look at this, when you push this pedal to the floor, it sticks. So, I'm assuming the master cylinder was sticking. But, if you look up here, you can see it. You see this screw? That's what's hanging the pedal up. Now, I don't think that's what's hanging up the, causing the pressure to stick in the line, but yeah, just goes to show you. So I'm going to trim the end of that screw off. And I don't know if I'm going to mess with these brakes tonight or not. We'll jack it up and look under it. I'm not too sure. Not sure how long this video is getting. But let me go ahead and cut that screw off and see if that solves that issue. I'm sure it will. Okay, so I got that screw cut off down there, and now the pedal is not sticking, but it just doesn't feel right. And it doesn't feel like air, it just feels like something is wrong with that master cylinder. Let's see what it does if we try to move it. Oh, just gotta bury it to get it to stop. Something is just not right with that thing. I think I'm going to go ahead and wait for that other master cylinder to get here and change it, because I know I had problems with this one before. So let's just eliminate it from the equation and get that done. So I think we're going to stop right here, and that'll be the end of this video. Just a couple minor things here to straighten out. We got to get that brake thing straightened out, and we got to get the shifting thing straightened out. But before I do that, I've got another project that's going to be showing up here in about a week. We'll have a video out of it in a couple of weeks, and I want to get that engine run stand built for that big block and just get it out of the way, because that thing is taking that cart is taking up a lot of space. So I think the next video we'll do that, and then we'll get a couple of things wrapped up with this, get another road test after that, and then we'll be on a new project. And it's going to be a cool one. Not my car, a friend of mine's car that I'm going to be doing for him, and I'm pretty excited to be doing it, and we'll do have him on here, do a little interview with him, and he can tell you all about it, and we can watch it come back to life. So it's going to be a cool one. So let's get a word from the Lord, and that'll be it for this one. Hey everybody, thanks for coming along today. And I think we got a lot done on this in the last couple days. It's, really getting down to where we're kind of wrapping up those last few little things, and hopefully the big money is spent. I know my wife is hoping so, and I hope so too. But we'll get these last few little problems figured out, get some road tests in, and hopefully be ready right for the season where people are bringing their cars out. And that was kind of my idea with doing this car over the winter, is that I have gotten kind of stuck the last few years of, I like to have a project drivable, finished, that I can go to the car shows and visit with my friends and stuff when spring starts and through the summer. And the last couple of years, it's, it seems like I'm into July before I actually get anything running, and it hasn't happened. So this one I think has worked out pretty good. So have something to drive, go out and have some fun, hang out with the fellas and the fellettes, like Derek says, and still have something in the garage to work on. So the last video, just really hats off to Brother Bruce for the message he gave about the transplant of the heart, that God removes our hearts of stone and gives us a heart of flesh, and how it related to doing that engine swap in that car. His very, very good message, and I'm glad he was here to give it, and me here to hear it. But this time you got to listen to me. Probably not as eloquent whatsoever as Bruce is, but no specific Bible verse this week, but we kind of had a tragedy in our community this week. A little boy named Cooper, he's 9 years old, and good little baseball player. My wife worked at the elementary school. She knew him really well. And he woke up several days ago and was having trouble seeing, and they found out that he's got a brain tumor. So they're doing, they did a biopsy on it a couple of days ago, and I don't want to give last names or personal information, but haven't heard the results of that yet. But just really, we're all praying for Cooper and for his parents and his family, and I just want to put that out there on the channel. I know, a lot of you who watch this may not know this little boy, but I just want to ask you to please offer up prayers and petitions for Cooper's health, that he is restored, for his family, for the doctors and nurses in charge of his care, that they can that they're able to stop whatever this tumor is, and that restore him to full health. And most of all, just that the Lord walks this family through this, because I can imagine the tragedy and stress that's going on in that household. So that's kind of going to be the gist of the message this week. I just want everybody on here to be please be praying for them. If you're in a church and you've got a Sunday school group or a church prayer group, email chain, just put that out there, that little Cooper in Missouri, that you just pray for him and his family. So let's have a quick word of prayer, and we'll be done today. Father, I just thank you for this ministry, for this channel, that I'm able to have some fun with these things, but also to put your word out there, and then to tell others about you. And I thank you for Bruce and my other friends who have participated in this, and just that all of us would be faithful, and not when we're enjoying this hobby that you've given us the skill to do, that we can use this for a greater purpose, and the purpose to share the gospel. And Lord, we lift little Cooper up to you and his family. and the medical people that are in charge of his care. And Lord, we pray for a miraculous healing for him, and we pray for strength for his family. We pray for knowledge for these medical people, and just that you will restore Cooper and restore his health. And we just ask this in the name of your precious Son, Jesus. Amen. All right, so thank you everybody for listening, and anybody who's going to be able to pray for him and pass that on. So hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment, and we will catch you on the next one.